Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I have another process video for you. Today is a multi-photo layout and what's going to be really nice about this one is one step closer to me finishing my DC album. To be honest, I really probably could finish this album this year from the photos I've printed at least. I definitely need to comb through my photos that I've already printed and used and make sure that they're all in there, the ones that I want, because we're not visiting DC again anytime soon. So this album will be complete, hopefully, with these photos that I have left. So I'm going to start by using a page kit from my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for the month. And if you guys haven't checked that out, I'll have a playlist linked down below so you can check out what was in my kit and what I've used with it so far. I also wanted to mention that down below I'll have resources to demand justice for Brianna Taylor. If you are not familiar with her story, I'll have resources below where you can read it. But she was unjustly killed by police officers who have not been charged or arrested, and we would like to see them be charged as so. And again, if you have not heard of her very sad story, please go read it, give her time, say her name, and help support the Black Lives Movement every day. And now back to scrapbooking. I will continue to sort of create a cluster here beneath the right side of the photos, and I start with a tag and a doily, which is definitely the way that I normally start a cluster. A tag, a doily, or a large ephemera piece is usually my go-to. Now, if you guys don't know, I also have a giant series that I did a few years ago where I made this kit, essentially walked you through the process of making kits. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check that out, link down below. I also have a couple videos on my channel where I make embellishment clusters and give you tips for that. And as always, I have additional resources over on my Patreon, so if you're interested in printables or videos, you can check that out there. So essentially, since this page kit had a beautiful green floral in it from Maggie Holmes, as well as this background which has this gold foil polka dot, I thought it'd be great to bring in more of that green color because it's so unique and so interesting and works really well with the photos since they're very neutral. You'll also see that I'm going through this kit pretty fast. I have a lot of items: journaling cards, pocket page cards, chipboards, stickers, die cuts, all of the above. And I do filter through it pretty fast, and that's just part of my process. You might also notice that this is a different camera angle, and something that I've been trying to do is find a way where I don't have to necessarily use my giant lights. As you guys know, I do live in Florida, and in the summertime it is going to be blistering hot, and although we have air conditioning, we're trying to be economical about using it, better for the environment, better for our budget. So I'm using the internal program on the camera to brighten up my scene without having to turn on my large lights. So let me know what you guys think of the new setup. Do you like the wider view so you can see more of my desk and the process of the layout, or would you like to see less of it and more zoomed in on the layout so you can see more of the details? I know everyone has a different opinion, but I'd still like to hear yours in the comments down below. My patrons did test out this viewpoint for a while now, so they've seen a couple videos like this and thought it looked great. And again, the lighting is not from the normal studio lights I use, but rather from the daylight that's in my room, as well as the camera settings that I can play around with. And it just saves me a lot of money by not having to use these giant lights, as well as heat savings, because these giant lights are very hot, and I think anyone can attest to that who does have them. I find them extremely uncomfortable to use, and I am looking for suggestions on new lights to use. I've looked at a couple different types of LED panels, which don't get nearly as hot as the large bulbs do in the shadow box type filming equipment. So thanks to my patrons, I will eventually be able to invest in a new lighting system that will, cater to that kind of technique where I don't have to have large bulbs and have large light boxes, but something rather small that could fit well in my space or any space I might move to in the future. But now back to scrapbooking. I have trimmed down 2 strips of that green floral paper. This is a great way to save paper if you are looking to essentially stretch your paper to be last a little bit longer than it normally would. This is a great way to do it. Just cut strips, and then guess what? It looks like it goes all the way under the photos when it really doesn't. And you'll see here that I do have to fix this multiple times. I think it looks quite crooked, and I also have to make sure that I am writing down the date for these. Now, we had several days. We visited DC when we lived in Maryland. So in my DC album for all of our DC trips, I am going to just put them in randomly. I don't think it will matter the day or the time. You know, I don't think it'll really matter if they're in chronological order for something like that. Because if we visit the Washington Monument twice in one day, or we did something different in a day, I think they could work well together. They don't necessarily have to be in exact order, because that will be very difficult, and that's not how I do my normal albums anyway. So if you guys have not checked out my most recent series, which is called After the Glue Dries, I talk about how I am going through the process of taking care of over 200 layouts that have just sat in boxes and not in albums. And that includes adding dates, adding journaling, organizing them, putting them into albums, and really just tackling them all together. And again, those are uploaded on Saturday, so if you guys haven't checked them out yet, I'll have that playlist linked down below so you guys can check it out. So once I finally get that paper straight, I can start working on the cluster finally. And this is made out of some cut-aparts from Craftsmith from a travel paper pad. Then I have my tag that I just put down, and this Hobby Lobby doily, which is from the Paper Studio. And I also have in this little cluster a die cut of a lock, which I believe is from Chamel. And then I also have a little ampersand, which is from LE Studio. And it's an interesting cluster. I definitely think it's kind of just a hodgepodge. I mean, the emblems in the die cuts from the paper pad don't really mean anything. I think it's the Pantheon, over in Europe, and not anything US related, but still relates to travel. And, I'm looking at buildings here in these photos. And I also pull in this frame, which is from the thicker set, which is just a Maggie Holmes one. I'm not sure which collection it was. And I'm going to glue that down with my art glitter glue adhesive. Now I also have this Explore little banner, which is bright green, which matches the floral really, really well. And I know I mentioned that I wanted to bring more pops of that in. And luckily I did have this odd shade of green from the Maggie Holmes sticker book. I found this one that says a date spot, and I think since it's Maggie Holmes, they're more likely to have those exact colors that are used in Maggie Holmes papers. So be sure to be on the lookout for your sticker book options when you look at your paper stash. If your paper stash matches the designer of a sticker book, they're more likely to have colors that go together, and it just makes it super easy to find embellishments to go on your page. And as always, I did need to add some washi tape on this layout. As you guys know, I use washi tape on almost all of my layouts, if not all of them. And I pull out this grid washi tape, which I adore. And when this one's empty, which honestly could be this month if I keep up with it like I have been, I am going to have to go buy more. And it's been a while since I've bought some washi tape. I mean, not that long. I think it was February, but it's been a while since I've bought a lot of washi tape. Usually I buy the sets and not necessarily one-off, but the last time I did just buy one-off, and it definitely wasn't my favorite washi tape, and I regret buying it. But I'm going to continue with my cluster over here on the left side of the photos. It has a chipboard journaling spot and then some phrase stickers. And then I decide to put a cluster up here. So I start with my grid washi tape. This little LE Studio Explorer, again, that bright pop of green can be really hard to find. So I'm really glad I had an LE Studio color to match, as well as the stickers from the Maggie Holmes sticker book to match. I put another journaling tab down because, again, I think this is going to have a lot of journaling with it since we have 3 different buildings in this photo set. And then I come in with a couple stickers from the Simple Stories Life in Color collection, just some black stickers to add a couple accents here to add additional contrast. But with that, I just need to add my title, which will be this pre-made title from, I believe, an Amy Tangerine collection, but I'm not 100% sure. Just some thicker set that says Think Happy. And I really, really like how this turned out, and hopefully you guys did too. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Let me know what you think of the new filming setup, and don't forget to demand justice for Brianna Taylor, link down below, as well as the playlist link down below in case you're interested in seeing some more scrappy goodness today. But here's an up close of that cluster. Again, lots going on, but I really do like how it's so fun and different, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave me a comment down below to let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!